Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Kind of haven't been moved to do a twin flame reading for quite some time, but times change. So here we are. Definitely feels like there's a message or two or three or more waiting. But the biggest thing that's come up really is just the issue of uncertainty. There's really a lot of the energy that I've been getting is just a lot of uncertainty, and because it's such a tricky experience and because it takes you to so many places, for better or for worse. Yeah, okay, so first message is we got the Ace of Cups reversed. Um, yeah, the issue here really is just because it's a messy journey. It's really messy. And it takes you to so many places for better or for worse. But really, what's coming up here is with the Ace of Cups reversed, you have to turn to your biggest gift, your most precious gift, which is what the universe gives us all, which is your intuition. Um, a lot of people are kind of like looking for guidance around them instead of looking within. And that's kind of why there's so much like uncertainty. There's so many people wondering if this is the one, or if they've made a mistake, or if there's something they should have done or would have done. And the ultimately, your life experience, this is something your soul incarnated into this experience because it wanted to be here. Everything that's happened is happening because it's supposed to happen. Your spirit wants it to happen. So, with that in mind, if you really, you're getting hung up on should have, could have, would have. If you should have done something, you would have done it because that's pretty much how this goes. If it's something you're meant to experience at that time, then you would have experienced it. But yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty here, and people are turning for guidance. They're looking around them. Let me just straighten this out. They're kind of looking around them for guidance instead of looking within, because you have the Queen of Pentacles energy, and she's very nurturing, very capable, very stable, reliable energy, and she likes to do what it takes to ensure her home has harmony. And in this situation, again, because we're not looking within, there's no harmony. So let's see what else we've got coming up. Ah, Two of Swords. Um, yeah. So lately all this indecisiveness and folks not really getting the feel for what's going on. It's kind of put some of us at a crossroads, and it's kind of got some people in this nostalgic space wondering about like when it was all simpler, um, when you didn't really have all this to worry about. It feels like some of us are looking back to old partners, and this Wheel of Fortune reverse is telling me that some people are stirring things up with karmic partners, and to be very careful about engaging with that energy, because once you realize that you have a karmic partner, once you realize that that person is your karmic partner, you've learned the lesson from the experience already. So some folks are really trying to look back. They're trying to look into the past to get a better feeling for the present, and that's not really it's not helping very much. So the card we got at the bottom of the deck here is the Ace of Pentacles reverse. And yeah, like just retreating to this emotional space, because swords and cups are thoughts and feelings. Like you're retreating to this emotional space and you're kind of missing out on what's going on for you in the present. So for those who aren't, if you again, if be very careful about how you evaluate past mates, because for some folks who feel like they missed their twin flame and they start rehashing, through the the genitals of years past, or whatever. um Again, you kind of be careful about accidentally breathing life into dead things, is that's coming up here, because that feels like this Wheel of Fortune reverse energy. This feels like, for those of us who are getting a little too into our feelings as opposed to our intuition, it's it's taking you down a bit of a funky path. I don't really like where this one goes. But definitely, it's definitely a need for a lot of us to tune in to our intuition, to our our inner guidance. And yeah, I just dropped a bunch of cards. Hmm. A lot of people need to, up to for let me just say, up to this point, and until I go more into the masculine versus feminine side, these readings are kind of just like tapping into the general energy of the collective. So just keep that in mind. It's If it resonates, it resonates. Just take it and run with it. But yeah, there's feels like there's a need for a lot of us to recapture our power. That's mostly coming up with the with the strength and the Four of Swords reversed, because Four of Swords upright is typically, it's about recovery, restoration. Um, I've mentioned this a few times, but when the way the card is set up, you've got the three swords here, and that's symbolic of the Three of Swords, and then you've got a single sword there, which is symbolic of the Ace of Swords. So what comes up with the Four of Swords energy typically is that through rest, through recovery, you're kind of preparing yourself to find your your clarity, your truth, your epiphany. So there's really a lot of there's need for a lot of people to recapture your strength, reclaim your sovereignty. This was really a major theme of this recent lunar eclipse in Leo, and it's coming up here as well. So, with that said, what's coming up here in the other three cards, this Knight of Cups, with the Eight of Swords reversed and the Six of Cups, is there's a really there's a really overwhelming need to open your minds, which again goes back to what I was saying earlier about honoring your intuition, about using that feeling as, what do as your first means of guidance. Because what it feels like here, this Knight of Cups, this is more of a message. Sometimes the Knight of Cups is a new lover, but this is feeling more like a love message. Because what's coming up is the Knight of Cups. As we see, the Knight of Cups is kind of like looking out towards the Eight of Swords reversed and the Six of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is kind of like this new love energy. And what's really coming up is to you have to. A lot of people don't want to surrender the past, but a lot of people need to surrender those past expectations of what they thought union would look like. Because the painful, simple fact is that for some of us, the person who we thought would be our twin flame, either there's a chance that it was never them all along, or it is them, but they're content not doing the work to get to that point. Because you shouldn't be entertaining, twin flame or not, you should not entertain anyone who's lowering your vibration. This union is supposed to be a very high vibration unity. So you shouldn't be entertaining, a prospect who's actively lowering your vibration. If it's not a dark night of the soul thing, if it's not uh, uprooting buried trauma sort of experience, if you've learned what you need to learn, and and yet this person is trying to take you back into this cycle, and again, it's a cycle you've recovered from. You've done the work to really achieve your healing. Like for example, like if you've had abandonment issues and you're confident in the work you've done and you've healed and you can feel you've healed from that hurt, don't entertain somebody who's going to ghost you. Because first off, that's bullshit. And secondly, it's not a good fit for you. You shouldn't be dealing with don't entertain people who lower your vibration. And I really have to keep saying that because it's like the truth is trying to cut through all of the uncertainty. And this unwillingness here to because these two cards are working together here. The unwillingness here to surrender the past, to surrender what you expected this union to be, to surrender who you expected this union to be with, it's it's holding you up. Because maybe it'll manifest in this person the way you always imagined it, but maybe it won't. Whatever it does, it's always going to be in the best interest of your highest self. So you don't need to carry expectations for this union. You can think about how you would like it to materialize, but you don't need to fix yourself on things happening in a certain way. You don't need to adhere to, you don't need to create some mystery timetable or whatever and expect this person to get their shit together at the same time you get your shit together, and then it's all just a magical union and all that. You don't need to waste your energy on in expectation. It's going to happen as it's meant to happen. And the most important, like the greatest need here is, you have to you have to live your life. You have to focus on living your life. That has to be the focus. For some of us, unity doesn't come because we're tying we're jeez I just all right, what, I'll just switch decks. Because we're tying so much energy, we're tying so much of our power and our energy into letting this thing unfold the way we envisioned it, and that doesn't benefit us. Yeah, yeah. See, yeah, Seven of Cups. Yeah, that's exactly what's coming up here. Um, the energy we spend. You're trying to turn your dreams. You're trying to make your dreams concrete, and that's not how dreams work. You need to let them unfold as they're meant to. Because your work is going to pay off one way or another. You just need to let it pay off in the other way if that's how it's meant to. So, I mean, it's time, like, you really have to, you got to stop agonizing. You have to stop agonizing over things not popping up for you on your timetable. Because your timetable, you're on the universe's time. Your timetable is not relevant. Everything's going to happen as it's supposed to. So all this torment, all this searching for the truth is right there. The truth is you need to live your life. Exactly. That's this is what the chariot reverse is saying. You need to take control of your own journey. You have to take control over your own journey first and foremost, because you are a complete person. This union can happen. This union can never happen, and you're still a complete person with your own set of experiences and desires that you deserve to manifest as they're meant to be manifested. You don't need to give your power to this to another person. And honestly, giving your power up is, yeah, it is reversed again. Yeah, giving your power up is how you get nowhere. So that's really the most important message there. You have to take control over your own journey. You have to focus on your life. You have to eat your own food. Because this everything that's meant to happen for you, it's all dependent on, you have to put your sovereignty to work. You have to harness your own power and you have to use it. But first you have to harness it, you have to realize it, and you have to capture it. And you have to, take it out of situations that you give it to. And this is the situation that you've been giving your power to, that you need to take it from. Because again, like you can't, it's not a toy, it's not a glass figurine or anything. You can't break it. You can do no wrong in following what gives your soul joy. So there's no need to be to worry about if if you do this thing you really feel you want to do, this person won't come along, because that's not how it works. Again, it's a high vibration experience. It's a high vibration union. And your vibration isn't high, it won't be high, and it can't get to that height if you're compromising your joy because you think that's what's going to get you this union. And honestly, this message kind of goes for a lot of folks who are in the union as well. Like, if it's not going the way you expect it, well, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to go in a way that's going to grow you. So, I mean, if you're in a union and your union is maximized and all that, you're probably maybe a little too gleeful to read this video, but to read the video, to watch the video. But for those who are in union, I guess we're getting the same, we're getting the same message here, which is the high priestess. You have to honor your intuition first and foremost. You have to honor your intuition, and you have to nurture yourself, and you have to make that your priority, because there's no union without you. You have to you have to honor yourselves. This is what's coming up. They have to honor yourselves first and foremost, because you've been given your intuition is here to guide you. You have to follow it. It's what feels right to you. That's the really the key to this whole life experience is, honoring what truly feels right to you. Because as long as you do that, it's always going to keep you on the right path. Yeah, I can tell it was definitely time for me to shoot do this video. I'm gonna do a little poll for the divine masculine, divine feminine partners. Um, just take whatever resonates. Spread on the top is going to be for the masculine, and then the bottom is going to be the feminine. Hmm. So I should say, for those who aren't too familiar with the divine masculine feminine concept, it's not limited to your sex. Um, that is, you can be a man and you can still be the feminine partner in this experience, or you can be in a same-sex couple and one of you identifies with the masculine energy and the other identifies more with the feminine energy, or you could identify with bits of each. Again, intuition. It's all about what resonates. So we have the so we're kind of off to a good start for the divine masculine. We have the Two of Cups energy here, and he is invested in the union, and this reading is going to be for the twin flames who are apart as well as together. Because if you're watching this video, you're watching it for a reason. But he is, the masculine is invested in this union. With the Two of Cups, the thing with the Two of Cups, it's passionate energy, but it's also um, easily distracted energy in a sense. So like, there's great passion here, but he's being the influence is very strong here with the Ace of Cups as well as the Moon, and those are kind of manipulating how he thinks and feels about the union. This Ace of Cups again, it's reversed. There's too much distraction. There's no, you need to. There's a need, like the masculine. You guys need to take some time to yourselves and get your own harmony back in order. Because the moon here is what's coming up here with the moon is that there's some shit that's come to the surface that you don't really want to face, that you don't really feel like dealing with. But it's really it's throwing you out of whack. So you need to you have to face the facts, you have to face reality, and just um get back on your own path. You can't be logical all the time. Give your emotions some room to breathe. So for the feminine energy, what's interesting is that a lot of the feminine partners, they do have great confidence in where they can go. They have great confidence in the future. They're very, they have great faith in it and all. But this devil reverse coming up, this is there's a need to, again, you have to detach yourself from expectations, and it feels like because the devil is reversed, it feels like a lot of the feminine partners are starting to do that, which is a good, that's a very good sign. Because again, once you detach yourself from expectations, you can let the whole thing, it just unfolds. And it's going to take you to this Nine of Pentacles energy, which is just, you're going to be in a space where you can just peacefully sit and, smell the flowers. But also, because Pentacles are earth, again, make sure you're grounding yourselves. Make sure you're staying connected with the earth. And that really goes for everybody in general, even if you just happen upon this video by accident and twin flames mean nothing to you. Make sure you're grounding yourselves, especially as you ascend spiritually. Make sure you're grounding yourselves, because you need that harmony. Because yes, you are a soul carrying out a life experience, but you need to you need to be present in the life experience. So make sure you're grounding yourselves more. Okay, everyone, I think, yeah, that should do it. As always, just take whatever resonates. Don't worry about the rest. And I guess I'll see you guys soon.